Hey guys, here we are to talk about the first semi-final between Spain and Italy. Here we have Danya and Oli to take us through it. Another battle for us, another showdown. On my right, your left, we have Danya, who will be making the case for
Italy this time.
Of course, big surprise there. And Oli here on my left.
I'm taking Spain.
Nice one. Well, let's get back into it. Danya, you've talked a lot about Italy, but
Have I?
make the case for them against Spain this time.
Okay, I have to start with, people are going to be like, but didn't you just make the case for Spain? Yes, I had to make the case for Spain. I think Spain's a good team, and it's going to be a tough battle, but my heart, it says Italy. So why? Now, Italy they've won all their games in the Euro so far, and it's not a secret. They've been probably one of the most convincing teams. Now, Spain have only won one game in the Euros in 90 minutes, which has kind of been a little bit of a shambles, and they're very inconsistent. Now, on the other side, Italy has been very consistent. They have the best team unit, so they work together from the defense to the midfield and the forward very cohesively. They keep a short team, and let's not overlook the fact that they have probably the best midfield right now. And I know it seems crazy to say against Spain. Italy probably has a better midfield, more experience, and play better together. So.
Well, there we go.
All right. We've started talking about midfield here, so I'm just going to pick up if I can here, Janek. I'm not having that. I'm not having that
all right,
all.
All right.
Right, okay. Who has had more possession than anyone else at this tournament? Spain. Why? Because their midfield is so damn good. You've got Sergio Busquets in there, rolling back the years, playing some prime stuff. And next to him, Pedri. My God, can this kid play football, right? Like the passing from those two, the movement from Pedri, especially the nous from Busquets. You said Italy's got more experience. Well, hello, Sergio Busquets has got more experience than pretty much the rest of the world.
Can't deny Busquets, right? You can't.
Like, these two guys are just insane. And I think Spain are going to control possession in this game in a way that Italy haven't experienced against any of the other teams. Italy, used to having it their own way, used to having most of the ball at this tournament so far. Even against Belgium, Italy had more possession. Spain are not going to allow that. Spain are going to control things, they're going to dominate the ball, and they're not going to give Italy the chance to score because they're not going to give them the ball.
Well, I'd just like to say, I guess, maybe setting Danya up here, hopefully. But I guess the question mark is they haven't really been pressed or harried throughout this whole tournament yet. Croatia did it in periods, but, I mean, against Italy, does Italy have the goods to pressure Spain a bit more than they've experienced so far, Danya?
Janek just tossed me the alley-oop because that was what I was going to say. Now, first, to comment, Pedri, he's ridiculous. We can't say anything about him. He's very dangerous going forward. But did you know that his tackle win rate percentage is only 22%? That makes him one of the worst defenders in the Euros.
She came pretty prepared. That's good.
I actually saw that and I was like, whoa, because his contribution is a lot more going forward. Now, Italy has had more of the ball in this tournament because they go get the ball. They go get it high. We know that Italy press high and they try to win the ball back in their opponent's half. Now, Spain came up against, teams who let them play to their strengths and let them possess the ball because it wasn't the strength of the other team. Italy's not going to do that. They're not going to sit back and say, you know what, Spain, you keep the ball, because Italy does have the quality to possess. Like Jorginho, for example, who just finished winning the Champions League. Nobody really respects Jorginho. Everybody kind of criticizes him, but the last game against Belgium, and Belgium is no joke, he made one bad pass the entire game. He completed 70 of 71 of his passes. So Spain, yes, they can possess the ball, but I think Italy is not just going to say, okay, we'll sit back and defend and let you have the ball. I'm going to let you go because then I have another point to make too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I think they're going to press Spain a lot more, but could open up a few holes on the other side of the pitch.
Absolutely.
I
mean, firstly, if we want to talk about opponents so far that teams have had, Italy, let's be honest, they got a bit lucky with Belgium's injuries, right? Kevin De Bruyne was basically running around with one Achilles, and Eden Hazard wasn't there at all, right? So Belgium, they played against still a good Belgium team, but a severely weakened Belgium team. And, they only won by one goal in the end. So if you want to talk about the opponents that Spain have had, we've got to look at Italy as well. They also haven't had really strong opposition. And by the way, Italy's only game at Wembley so far at this tournament. Bear in mind, this game is going to be at Wembley. That was against Austria. And Italy had to go all the way to extra time to win that one as well against, let's be honest, not the best team at the Euros in Austria. But I want to move away from that for a moment, and I want to talk about goals, because Spain have scored more of them at this tournament than any other team. 12 goals, 11 of them in the last 3 games. That is insane goal-scoring form, right?
How many did they score in the last game?
Oh, in the last game
How
they
many
got the one.
own
Well, they got the
goals
one,
have
yeah,
they
sure,
gotten
sure.
credit
But
for?
they got 5 in each of the 2 games before that. I mean, come on. And this is despite having missed 2 penalties as well.
That's
so
true.
this team can
Yeah.
score goal after goal after goal, and they spread them around. So Italy is not going to know where the threat is coming from. 8 different players on the Spain team have scored, and that's on top of the 2 own goals that you guys are talking about there. 8 different players, Torres, Morata, Sarabia, all scoring goals. Laporte, also a threat from set pieces. The threat is all over the place for Italy, and that's another reason why I'm going for Spain.
Take it over, Danya.
Okay. There's like so many things. I did make the argument that Spain can score goals from a lot of different places, but I have something to come back to that, and that is the brick stone house wall called Chiellini and Bonucci. Now, if you could write a book on defending, they would be all over it with every movement that they make, because it's literally artistic to watch them defend. Now, Chiellini, aside from being just a good defender, is so prepared for these games that he watches hours and hours and hours of each striker he faces, all their goals, all their movements, so he can get into their head. Now, Morata, we know, is a very temperamental striker. Where does Morata play? Juventus. Chiellini knows, and Bonucci, besides the partnership that they've had going back how many hundreds of years, they know how he moves, they know how he plays, they know what he needs to do well and what makes him suffer. So aside from being great defenders and putting the attack in positions that will put them in difficulty, they're also going to get into Morata's head, which is not going to help him at all. And defensively, they're solid. Now, yes, it's the Euros. In a knockout game, anything can happen. We saw them kind of struggle against Austria, but we also saw Spain forget how to defend against Croatia. Their defenders, it was just like, what are you guys doing? So, I mean, I think it really depends also on the day that Spain's having, because we know they can be very good and very bad sometimes. I hope they're very bad, personally. And I think that Italy can, even if Immobile had probably the worst game of his national career in the last game, we can still put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm still going with Italy on this one.
Oli, have you got something, or I could give it? Italy going to be missing a certain someone, maybe one of their best players, Spinazzola.
Right, yeah, Spinazzola has been just phenomenal at this tournament. You have to give him a huge amount of respect. It's really, really sad when players are having a great tournament and they get pulled out for that reason, for suffering from an injury, especially with COVID. These guys have been playing so much football over the last year and a half, and now you think that some people is catching up with them, which might be a little bit of a problem for those Italy defenders that you just mentioned. These guys, I think I've already mentioned in the last video, combined age of Bonucci and Chiellini.
That doesn't matter.
70
That's
years
experience, isn't
old,
it?
right?
Yeah, but they put Lukaku in their
Sure, but,
pockets,
at
that's
some
for
point, experience
sure.
can't make up for those lost yards, And Spain, because the attack is coming from all over the place, and they've got young players in there. Ferran Torres, of course, a really young player. They've got the speed with the likes of Sarabia, with the likes of Oyarzabal as well. That's going to be so much for those guys to deal with. So I think, the youth, the movement, the exuberance of the Spain team is going to outweigh the experience and the know-how of the Italian team.
All right. Well, we've heard from both sides. I'm on the fence, but
On the fence?
yeah.
What do you mean?
So you got one last chance. Prediction: who's going to be man of the match? One last chance to make the case.
All right, so I'm going to go with Jorginho, because
Huge.
like we said, Spain's midfield is strong. There's no way around it. So you really have to disrupt that. You can't let them get into their flow. Pedri, Busquets, Jordi Alba, it's, Barcelona connection. You can't let that happen, okay? You have to be disciplined in defense, and I think Italy has the defense to not get pulled out of position by these magicians on the ball, okay? I'm going to say Jorginho because the midfield battle for me is going to be crucial, and hopefully Immobile remembers how to score a goal. So I'm going to go with Italy, sorry. I don't know if I said that, but...
Oli, last
Man of the match, right?
Man of the match.
That's what
Yeah,
we're going for
that's
here?
what we want.
Okay, well, my man of the match is almost certainly going to be Pedri, because I could just watch this kid play football all day. He's a joy to watch in the midfield there. But, I wonder I wonder if this game might go all the way to penalties.
I hope
And then
not.
I know Donnarumma's a good penalty saver, but Unai Simon, saving 2 penalties in the shootout in the last round, he could be the hero of the day.
Of course. But you want to make the case that Spain can do it before the penalties.
right. But if it goes all the way, then you know, they've got that backup, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, for me, I think it's going to go to penalties. I think you both made very convincing cases, but I see this as I'm right on the fence, straight, like down the middle. Cannot split it.
Who's going to win penalties?
I would say Italy are going to win penalties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cut me deep, Janek.
I think the experience. You know, you get some experience taking penalties anyway. Anyway, guys, doesn't matter what I think. What do you guys think? Danya's case for Italy, Oli's case for Spain. Let us know in the comments. Scoreline predictions, man of the match, whatever you like. And yeah, we'll see you back here for the second semi-final.